Hi, it's Therese and Lostinpaper, and I'm back with my Cards for Men. And today I'm going to be focusing on using pattern paper on masculine cards. So I've quickly stamped out this really fun goat image. It's from Simon Says Stamps Birthday Farm Animals, and colouring him really simply with my Copic markers. And I will list all the colours at my blog. I have got most of them off to the side, but I do miss a couple along the way. Um, Pattern paper I don't usually use a lot of on masculine designs. I find a lot of them just don't really suit that style of card, and especially I tend to like a very clean and simple card for masculine cards. So often, lots of pattern paper really doesn't seem to work. But today I'm going to show you how you can make it work, and that's you just need to really focus on what kind of paper that you're choosing. The can be nice, bold, bright colours, or they can be neutrals, which is kind of what I'm going for today. And I am going a bit overboard. My whole card is going to be covered with pattern paper, but what I usually find works best is often just having a snippet of paper or a highlight of a colour or a pattern, and that seems to work really well for me in men's cards. So I've coloured my little goat, and I thought his nose looked a bit funny. It was a bit dark, so I added some white gel pen, and then that didn't work. So then I took it away and noticed that it was leaving like a white highlight on the nose. So I've gone with that, and I've added more white gel pen and letting it dry now so I can smudge a white highlight on his nose later. So this is one of the pattern papers that I'm working with, and it's the Avriel Neutral Collection, and I've already chosen another one that I'm going to use on the base of my card, and I'm just having a look to see what's going to go. I've got lots of die cutting today and just roughly working out the layout on the front of my top fold card here, and then I can work out how much of this paper that I need to cut because I don't like to waste anything. So I'm just holding my oval die in place with some low-tack tape. This is a nesting die from Courtier Creations. I'm not even sure if you can still get these or not, but they are a really nice sort of round set of dies. Next I'm going to work on a speech bubble, and I'm actually going to cut my numbers from count on it. This is an Avriel die set with some really fun shaped numbers, and I like to cut them separately so that I can get them nice and close to each other, and then I can add my speech bubble afterwards. And this is Bertie Told Me from Lawn Form. I'm just going to run that through my die cutting machine, and you'll notice that I've kept my numbers with all the die cuts in place because I'm going to be needing the center of those because I'm going to be using the negative space on this card. So I've die cut some fun foam. This is in a nice bright blue colour, and I've left it in place while I add some matte medium to the back of my die cut speech bubble. It just helps stop it sort of losing shape, and then I can just sit that in place, and I'll pop a stamping block over that just while I give it a bit of time to dry. It doesn't take too long, but it's definitely a lot slower drying than when I use a Tombow. That's much quicker to dry. So this is what I've done. I popped out all my bits from the centre of my letters, and here's a little trick. Pop the number back in place where it's meant to be, and then you can add some glue to the back of the insert, like the centre of the numbers or the letters, it depends what you're doing. And then I can just add my matte medium and then adhere them in place on the fun foam. And I'll do that for all the little pieces from the centre of the numbers. And then I can just let them sort of dry in place and just remove the outside of the number. It's a great trick. Except that I'm having trouble with my little pieces. And you see how easy that is? Well, kind of, yeah. And the centre of the numbers works out exactly perfectly where they should be. Now this die cut hill that I've created is not a very thick cardstock, so I have die cut a second piece of cardstock and I'm going to simply adhere that together just to give it a little bit of stability, because I do want to pop this up on the front of the card. And I've got my other piece of coloured cardstock now. This is I thought the angled stripes would be a real fun sort of design on the masculine card. So I've got lots of different patterns and lots of sort of even I've used different companies. This is an MFT's 6x6 paper pad called, oh, it's a neutral one as well. That's right, Dots and Stripes neutral. And then I thought it probably could use another little sentiment here. And so I'm going to white emboss. This is from Avery's Geek. I've got so many different companies in today's card. I had a ball making this. And I'm just going to white emboss this congratulations. And the die that matches this stamp set, it's actually filled in. It's not a window die. So here's a trick. If you want to line up die exactly where you need it, die cut a separate piece of cardstock and then you can hold it over top where it needs to be, pop the die into the negative space and then just use some low tack tape to hold that in place. And the other thing I do is actually adhere and sometimes you can use tape on the inside as well, but adhere the tape to both cards so they don't shift, and then I can simply run that through my die cutting machine and then you'll find that it is cut perfectly where you need it to be. And there I have my little banner. And I've also die cut a grassy edge. It's from an MFT's die-namics die, and that's what I like about using, these bold sort of neutral colours on a masculine design. So what I've done is I've chosen sort of three very different papers, but they've actually mixed very well. So the background is very patterned. The hill is actually got a pattern all over it, so it kind of almost looks like a neutral, and same with the grass. So even though they're three different pattern papers, they kind of look like they're meant to be together. And by using papers out of the same or similar paper pads, you know that it's going to work. So I've just used some foam tape to pop up my hill and my little goat, and then I can flip over the card and just snip off the edges that are overhanging. It's a good way of getting the edges nice and straight on the edge of the card. And then I can add some Tombow to the back of the fun foam. It's just a really good way to adhere fun foam. It's one of those products that can be really hard to stick, and the liquid glues are always the best choice for that. Now I can scratch off the white gel pen that I had on the goat's nose, and that just has left a bit of a highlight on the middle of his nose. I'm still not 100% happy with it yet, and I'm just popping up the banner that I've made with some black fun foam onto the front of the card. And I decided just to add a little bit of Prismacolor pencil around the edge of the nose just to make it look a little bit less harsh on the edges. And that's a great thing about Prismas, they're very forgiving. So that's my finished card. Thanks for joining me. I've had heaps of fun. Till next time, happy paper crafting. Bye.